guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember any stories about truckers doing anything just absolutely off the wall. And I completely could have missed it, folks. But
the only thing that I think was highlighted was that there may have been a swastika flag somewhere in Ottawa.
Yeah, and there was a Confederate flag.
And then they said
somebody, which is a swastika flag to these people.
Right.
Which clearly it's not. It means
and they said
totally
somebody
different.
defaced a war monument as well.
Yeah.
Which
so the thing that the left lives to do. Well, they've got something in common with the left then.
There we go.
Maybe there's some unity there.
They should be championing it then. But okay, then contrasting the Freedom Convoy, to the protests that happened as the result of George Floyd's death. We have two ends of the spectrum. You've got the truckers' convoy that has remained peaceful. People have praised it for remaining peaceful and clear with with the demands and the hopes. Swinging to the other side, you have George Floyd's death, which, as we all know, erupted across the states. It caused millions in damages in every city. People died. One of my favorite headlines from about 2 weeks in was, Forbes ran this. 14 days of protesting, 19 dead. Horribly violent protests. So, Caleb, talk to me about what is the biggest differences besides, we've talked about those being more leftist protests, but what is kind of the danger in more aimless protesting or these protests that are much less specific in what they're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I think when you're able to have a clear vision and solidarity, then you're able to more or less keep the disparate threads of your movement together. Because what was a very clear sentiment in 2020 over the summer was rage.
Right.
Was absolute anger that people were looking to carry out. And it's not that other protests haven't had anger as a component of their movements as well, even peaceful ones. But the thing I respected about historically some of the most successful peaceful protests was this ability to, for the most part, keep people in line.
Right.
Because
that's good.
So much
That's
of
good.
what you're trying to achieve, you undercut your message if you behave just as badly as the people that you're protesting against.
Right.
So when CNN would go on and say, wow, this is like the second civil rights movement, and yet we see buildings burning, people bleeding in the streets, cops being wheeled off to the hospital, all of us were sitting there at home saying, I'm not so sure I believe what you're saying here.
Right.
So I think so much of it is the actions speak for themselves, and so much of your credibility is tied up in how you behave. So that's the piece of it that the truckers have succeeded in, and that was the bit that the BLM riots were, that defined it, was just the chaos and the unpredictability.
Right.